Hey, my name is Patrick Lovell, and I'm a documentary film producer. I'm an investigative journalist, and I've spent the better part of the last 13 years trying to uncover the insanity that has enveloped our society and has created an America that I don't even recognize. Now, in 2022, as you can see over and over and over, we continue to have these monumental wipeouts and just insane things that happen to us on a daily basis, whether it's questions about corruption, questions about the insurrection, questions about people responding to the decision of Roe v. Wade, and environmental disasters, and systemic racism in prisons, and everything that constituted Black Lives Matter, and then what kind of manifested MAGA, and everything in between. It's just been a train wreck of a society over the course of the last 20 years that's not working. And people are asking all the time, well, what do we do about it? What can be done about it? Well, there's a lot that can be done about it, but where can we put our energies to where we, the people, actually can come together in an organized way to basically overwhelm the system of insanity that has corrupted everything? And there's an option, there's an outlet, and it's called the Justice Party. I would encourage all of you to go to www.justiceparty.us. Take a look at what the headliners are, what it's all about, and also be aware that Rocky Anderson, who is the chairman of the Justice Party and basically its inspirational leader for some time, the guy who organized this whole thing, and who ran for president in 2012, and who was also the mayor of Salt Lake City for 2 terms, and really one of the righteous voices of justice in the United States, and one of the smartest human beings I've ever met, is hosting a Zoom call on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, and we'll plug a link to what you can join, and you can sign up, and I really hope you will, because if you're sick of the duopoly, and you know that neither one of these political parties have the answers to be able to deal with the problems we face because they've been actually creating these problems for decades, then you understand that the only option we have is another party and another movement. Now, be clear about what the Justice Party is. The Justice Party doesn't care what your ideological your persuasion is, right? You can be conservative, you can be liberal, you can be anywhere in between, but you've got to recognize the problems of corruption and how money has infiltrated the system, has overrun the system, so that for issues such as gun control and that which constitutes Roe versus Wade, and a whole variety of other incredibly important issues to the American people, that were never heard and will never be heard in this system that tells you one thing and does another. Now, at least with Donald Trump, he just lies to you. And he continues to do so ad nauseum to get his piece of the pie. The thing that most of the supporters on the Trump side of on the equation don't realize is he doesn't care about them. The people that support him are just a ways or means to his end. As long as he gets a piece, he'll throw everybody under the bus. And I think that much is self-evident for anybody watching this, except for those that are so extreme right that they're like, look, we just want the new Confederacy. Now, on the left, or presumably the left, which really isn't the left, what we might call the blue, is this, I call it, an ongoing sort of blend of the economic power, the judicial power, really the educated class, let's call it the Ivy League set, that has they've been involved with managing this country for a long time. And but yet, because of Citizens United and some of the other things that have happened over the course of the last several decades, they've succumbed to the power as well, which is money that has corrupted both parties. We have to find a way forward. We have to be able to do so to where we don't train wreck the elections with a third party in a way that, will somehow, pull a Ralph Nader, unfortunately, or, what can I think of, back to the gentleman who was the CEO of Texas Instruments, that was, had a problem, during the Clinton Bush campaign. Of course, third-party candidates a lot of the times, potentially create problems, and it gets a little dicey when you have somebody like Trump who could maybe somehow survive what's happening in the insurrection hearings, and then ultimately, come out of it like he did with the with the impeachment hearings and so on and so forth. and potentially run again, or somebody even more dangerous, or more organized and more involved and more willing to go, that direction of fascism. And I think many, many millions of people are just absolutely dead set against that and terrified of that, but they don't know where to put their support because nobody actually translates their voice to power. They just basically diffuse it, and then we give way to corruption. That's been going on for a very long time. So I connected with Rocky Anderson, and Rocky Anderson brought the corruption to his audience that we expose in the con, and he's very, very crystal clear about how we can absolve, resolve, maneuver, do what's necessary to contend with the audacity of corruption, simultaneously while also dealing with all of the other issues that are important to the American people. Please go check out the website at justiceparty.us. We'll have a link down below. Please sign up and be a part of the Zoom hearing and meetings. I'll be a part of them myself starting next week. Bring all your energy, bring all your questions. We've got to create a tidal wave that will lift all boats, and we've got to restore sanity to the United States because we're spinning out of control and there's so much at stake. It's literally all on the line. We've got to rise to the moment. We've got to join each other, and we've got to become a force to be reckoned with. We've got to be citizens of the United States. Please join us. Onwards and upwards.